I'd still say like cleaning days are pretty suck. Hey everyone, I'm AJ.
I'm Alyssa.
And today we are reacting to our both sides Jubilee video.
That happened a year ago.
Exactly
today.
A year ago today. It came out on October 17th, 2018. Essentially, the premise of this video was to put earphones on, playing loud music, while they asked a question.
The other person gave the answer.
Exactly.
We're reacting to it today to see how far we've come in a year.
Yeah, it was our 2 years, essentially then, and it was just our 3-year anniversary, so yeah, let's see how far we come. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Sorry. Here we go. Ooh, YouTube couples. We weren't even officially
We're
YouTube
like
couples.
quirky,
I
unique, fun, and communicative.
With a lot of love.
With a lot of love. I'm gonna play Africa by Toto.
Oh, God. That was when you were into
Has
that.
anything changed? No.
I'm tired of listening to Africa by Toto.
What?
Has anything changed
The
now?
very first time I saw AJ, I thought he was really nice. He looked friendly, so that's
I'm a little
why
chubbier
we
there
went
in the
and
video.
just chatted.
I
I'm
didn't
definitely
make the
chubbier.
bed this morning.
What?
Huh? Well, I met her at an audition. She recognized me,
Wait,
and she's like, "Are you?"
I make the bed every morning now.
I know, that's a change.
It's a change.
Yeah.
AJ Rafael. I used to listen to you in middle school. She said, I was really hoping that she would like tweet about me so I could find her. Sounds kind of creepy.
I said that he looked very friendly, and I don't think I said approachable, but I meant to say he looked friendly and approachable, so that's why we ended up chatting in the corner of that audition at Disneyland.
So nothing's changed because how we met is how we met.
Exactly.
Well, I said
Can't change the
I was
past.
really hoping that you would tweet about me.
Oh my God, you told them that.
Aw.
Our first date was when we went to see Joe
Joe
Coy.
the improv show.
I was reading her lips. She literally said this. Our first date was at a Joe Coy concert. I think that's when I first made it clear that, like, let's make this a date.
Ugh.
I said Joe Coy
I didn't
concert.
have the same
Did you read
Barbara.
that? My
Yeah, I
lips.
said that.
Yeah.
I said Joe Coy.
Jeez, you're just pointing out everything physical. It's fine.
He
changes?
forgets a lot of his own schedule. Like, I try to plan things, but then we forget that he has, like, a shoot or something like that. So it's kind of just comes down to, like, him being a little bit disorganized, but that would be just one thing that bugs me a little bit.
Sometimes I have to be, like, too clean. Just, like, I like to just throw my shoes at the door or not make the bed. She kind of nags at me a little bit for that.
So
But
how
it's
has that
fine.
changed?
That's not even a big thing, really. It doesn't really... Okay, the other day bothered me. Did you say...
Wait, we talked
wait,
about
yeah,
it
we
the
talked
other
about
day.
it.
that I sniff out loud?
No.
And by
But that's
sniff,
a
I
good
meant
one.
sniffle because I do this a lot.
No, it's... I said that you were a bit disorganized. Yeah. You know that.
I know, but I'm just so shocked because I said one thing that bothers me is that you don't let me be just like disorganized.
Okay.
So I think that's changed for me. It doesn't bother me anymore, actually, because there's things that have changed in a year because we live together now. We didn't live together in this video, but we spent a lot of time
That's true.
at each other's places.
Yep.
So I think it took us a while to get used to the way each other likes to just be comfortably.
Right.
But yeah, you're like way more organized now. Like way more. I feel like I'm messier than before.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it takes living and, well, being around a person even more than you were to, like, know that you're in someone else's space as well. So me
True.
doing a little more for before she comes home from work.
So nice.
Yeah, it's a little different than when I had my own place here, and then
right.
you come home. You come here sometimes unannounced. I'm just kidding.
What?
I don't remember a time you came in unannounced. But like, you know, you can come in here while I don't know, I'm shooting a video or whatever, and the mess used to kind of stress you out. But I think now we both have an understanding, as long as we're clear about when it's going to be clean.
Yeah. I agree. And then what about me?
Oh, the fact that you get mad or whatever?
Yeah. Does that still happen?
No, I would say not so much. I'd still say like cleaning days are pretty suck. The days that we clean. But, you know, it's all good because that's kind of the compromise. It's like, yeah, and you said it yourself, like you maybe are a little, not more messy, but you...
I let things be more.
Yeah, you let things be more and you don't let it stress you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just miss his presence.
Oh,
I love
he's
when
so
we're
cute.
just hanging out. We don't even have to be doing anything. We could be working on 2 separate things at the same time, or just sitting at home watching TV. A lot of the little things and his little,
Right.
the little quirks and the little weird things we do together.
A lot of like small things, like we make up a lot of songs every day.
Kitschy.
If she was gone right now, I would miss her voice a lot because she already doesn't sing that much when she should.
Wait, was the
Ooh,
question
true.
if he went away forever or like a week? Because I think I answered it as if it was like
Oh, a week?
as if you left for like a couple days. I was like, oh, I miss his like little things that he
I
does.
said little things, but also in the context where I thought you were dead.
Oh, I didn't answer it like that.
Oh. I'm gone a lot, so like
Yeah.
you can handle a couple days.
Yeah, that's
So,
why it was no big deal. That's why I was like, I mean, I would miss his like his like being there.
My bad.
Not bad, not bad. Has that changed?
Well, if I were to answer the question now, it'd be different because I answered it incorrectly in the video.
Sure.
But if you were gone, okay, sounds morbid, but I do think about that sometimes. Like, not about you, but like anyone in my
Right,
life that's
sure.
close to me. I think about like what it would be like if they weren't around anymore. I think it's a fear of a lot of people.
Yeah.
To like lose somebody that they love. Of course, I'd be devastated.
Yeah.
Duh, who wouldn't?
Me too.
In the context of the video, yeah, I mean, I feel like we are kind of like an extension of each other in a way. Like, obviously we're our own separate people, but we've just become so close. Our families have become like extensions of another too, so I would definitely miss like a part of me. I would feel like a part of me is missing
Yeah.
if you were to leave.
I say the same thing, although I answered the question correctly.
Well, good. You followed directions.
I think our biggest fight has been about something in AJ's past that I have had issues or I struggled to let go of. It was a big fight that
Me being
happened
super vague.
a
I
while
know.
ago, but still comes up here and there.
A recent big one kind of stemmed from my ex-girlfriend.
And you just straight up say it.
Yeah, I don't know how much detail to go into, but it just, you know, like my past relationships are just like a part of me growing to be this man that I am for her now. I think it's hard to explain that perspective sometimes. Like, she cuts off her exes completely and doesn't talk to them. A lot of people like hate the people that they've been with, and it's hard to say that because I don't hate them. I just wish she understood how much I love her and how much I see her as the main person in my life, you know. And I think she's seen a lot
Little
of
emotion
that.
there.
Whoever was like a main person in my life, and she is trying to fill their shoes, but like they're part of my past, and she's my present and my future.
I said our biggest fight has
you crying,
been
baby?
about
No.
a person in your past. But I saw it. I could read your lips. You said ex-girlfriend, so yeah. It's,
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way you are with everything, though. You're not a person to cut people off, and you continue to like maintain your relationships.
At the end of the day, I love you. I'm sorry if it's a big thing. I don't know.
I'm gonna cry. Well, I mean, I know I love you. Like, I know it's not like, it's not something that I'm going to just let define our relationship and define why, like, we would end our relationship, because it's so, like, what we have is way more than that. And even though we have, like, bumps in the road, I still love you, and I'm always gonna love you.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah. Sorry,
I'm crying again, watching myself
we struggle
cry.
a lot. We do.
Oh, no, I don't have a
But
tissue.
we work on it, and we get through every
I'll get
fight
one.
or every struggle.
No,
and
I'll
I
get
know we
one.
get stronger from it.
Fine.
And I think maybe you don't hear it enough from me, but like, I see a future with us.
I know.
Wow, that was a big one. You're crying.
I know, I need a tissue. I think this is the first time I've cried since I've gotten LASIK. This is the first time I've cried since I've got Smile. Because tears don't come easily.
Yeah, laser eye surgery.
Yeah. It's weird seeing yourself cry on a camera.
Wait,
It's
you
like-
feel the emotions?
Yeah, because you feel it start to come up again.
Yeah.
I think that's why I got emotional.
Oh, really?
No, not the topic,
Not
but
that
like how I was feeling in that moment.
yeah.
I like put myself back in those shoes,
Yeah.
and so I was like, "Oh, past me! I just want to give her a hug."
So I guess what has changed? Well, I hear you in this saying, you know, that I maintain the relationships and stuff. But I would say that maybe it felt that way back then, but I for sure am not like actively maintaining anything that I don't need, and not even just ex-girlfriends, but like even older friendships that I have, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's more true now, but back then I honestly didn't see it as that. I just kind of thought of it as like being cool with someone, but that I guess also had meant me occasionally being in contact maybe. And if someone is checking up on somebody and stuff, you know, I would have been more actively putting it in energy, but now I completely don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I know that after people saw this video, they were asking you advice on like
Yeah.
how to deal with ex-girlfriends and stuff, because their boyfriends were probably in the same mindset as I was.
I did get a few people who like reached out to me, like even close friends or just like close people in my life who've either been through it and were like giving me advice on it, or like wanted advice from me on how I handled it, because obviously we're still together and
Yeah.
like we gotten through all of that and had to go through it. It took me a while to be able to know how to not deal with it, but
I mean, that's fair.
there's a better word for dealing with it, but like how to learn how to be in a mature relationship where there are still like people from your past around, and it's not just going to be like, okay, well now nobody in my past still exists. And honestly, sometimes I didn't handle it well. Like I would go into like spirals in my head, and then I think it did affect our relationship at times, because it was just a lot of overthinking. I'm a really intense overthinker that would just like make things up in my head.
Yeah.
But after we talked about it, after we would like talk about it with clear minds, that's when things would.
It got to a point where it was like a trigger almost.
Yeah, it was like
You know.
somewhat of a trigger, I guess you could say. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like not every relationship, but a lot of relationships have their own, like, we like avoided it for just as long as we could.
Totally. I mean, it would spark some really intense heat
Yeah.
in the worst way possible.
But I think that after like each conversation, I can remember like each time that we've had a fight about it, and what I've taken away from each of those arguments, and how we grew like tremendously from everyone. Like,
Yeah.
this may be sharing too much, but like in the very beginning, it was like, I'm just gonna leave, like call an Uber and like just don't deal with it. But
Yeah,
each
there's
time,
two times.
yeah. I'm dramatic.
But
I'm super dramatic.
Yeah, there's dramatics there, but also, you know, I'm also like, fine, go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like each time it got less and less. Like it was more about, okay, like why do you feel this way? And like what about that instance triggered you to feel like heated and like start to overthink things? It probably took like a year for us to like learn how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And get better from it. And honestly, I can say we don't have that issue anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Like
No, totally.
it doesn't. It's just
I
doesn't
think
even get brought up.
Also, now kind of reflecting on it, like in my mind, I feel like you kind of openly talked about your exes a lot, and I personally, deeply, truly didn't have any kind of problem with that. And I think anytime I brought up even a funny story or something, like a memory.
Yeah. I could give you an example. Like, if there was like an event that happened in the past that
Sure.
I literally was not even in your life yet.
Yeah.
We weren't in each other's life. Say somebody was talking about it and everyone else was there except for me. I'd be like, I wasn't there,
Yeah.
FOMO. And like,
It'd push your buttons.
it would like stick with me, and then I'd like think about it later, type of thing.
Yeah, totally. I just didn't feel that way. So maybe part of it was trying to get you to meet me in the middle, almost, you know?
I think probably to end this session, because we've talked a lot already, like the advice I would give to girls or guys or anybody going through a situation like this where you feel like your partner is still hanging on to like old relationships or whatever it may be, is to look at it with an open mind, because there may be people in your life that are going to tell you like, I would never stick around for that, or like I would like, that would be a deal breaker for me. And so like that's also hard to hear from other people, because it's like, well, I really like care about this relationship, so I'm not really going to listen to that advice. Have an open mind about it. Talk and overly communicate, because even though sometimes I think it was hard that I would overly communicate it, it helped us in the long run.
Yeah, we figured it out, I think, at the end of the day, like what it is really truly coming from, whether it's like insecurities, if you were feeling othered, you know, if you feel like the person on the outside, things like that. Like we were able to communicate that and reaffirm each other that it's not about a thing that maybe you're overthinking about, you know. It took us years, you know, and we have like some friends who go through similar things that we give advice to. We are just, I don't know, we put in the work because it's hard, you know.
It's not hard. You start to realize how much, if something's very important to you, like you will put the work into it, and it won't, at the end of the day, you're going to look at the big picture and realize it's not, oh, I'm just putting in work for my relationship. It's like,
yeah, definitely not that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not that. I mean, to me, I think it's hard uncovering what it is you're truly either holding on to or, you know, and not letting go, or, you know, it's hard to like get deep into your feelings. You know, we really put in the work to like really try to put ourselves in each other's shoes. And I think that is so important for relationships. It's not surface level at all. It's like very deep, especially now that we live with each other. It's like we really know the emotions from each of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Is that how you feel?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Oh, good.
Ooh, we're almost there.
Patience and learning that we're very different in the way we think, obviously. You can't just have one way of thinking. You have to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Balance.
We just said that.
I know, that's why I was
the
looking at
importance of
you.
quality time, not just with us, but like quality time with myself too, and to be a little more organized.
We're not always going to agree on things, but knowing that there's an end goal and that we're still learning how to be adaptable to one another.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think we both see like a future with a family and being married and all the cool stuff that comes with
Nice
being
Jubilee
together.
with that music. Cute. Made me know how to feel in that moment.
I don't think much has changed. That's cool that we said that
The same.
even back then.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing we've learned, is putting each other in the other person's shoes
Yeah,
before just being selfish about things.
right. But I'd say something that we've grown is that we are generally kind of on the same page about a lot of things, you know, like politics, everything, music stuff,
Yeah.
shows we love.
It's in that aspect, our relationship is very easy because we agree on a lot of things.
Right,
like
right.
we find the same things fun, except for I love scary movies and he doesn't. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one
that's a
thing
big-
right
it's a
now.
big
It's a
thing.
big thing. It's like Halloween. Like I just want to watch scary movies. But the question was, what did you learn? What have you learned from each other, right?
Right. And
Did you learn anything from me?
Oh, recently?
Yeah. Like, did I teach you anything?
Same thing, of course. Baby,
Okay.
teach me something new every day.
You teach me a lot of things too.
Yeah, like street stuff.
No, not just street stuff. You don't give yourself enough credit. The job that I have right now, I work like for diversity and inclusion in entertainment. I wouldn't be not saying I wouldn't be as passionate about it, but I found a new importance and passion for it because of AJ, because of all you have done for the community, and like without even knowing it from a young age. That's something that we have in common for sure, and like are just extremely passionate about. And like also like keeping music alive in our lives. Like that's something that I don't think it would have ever gone away from me, but towards like when I was like getting out of college, it might have like slipped away, but you've kept it alive in our lives, you know? Creative.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. No, yeah, you taught me a lot about how hard you work, and then getting approval and validation from like people who are like higher up, you know, in that system and infrastructure of work is like very cool to see. I love it.
Yeah, we get to see different kinds of
different
brains
kinds of
working. Yeah. Cool.
It feels like our relationship is kind of like
Music.
an adventure. Like I never really know what the next step is, where I've always been the person to always want to know what the next step is, but with him it's been different.
A lot of my friends and people I haven't talked to in a long time, they see that I've like posted about my girlfriend a lot and stuff, and they're like, well, I've never seen you post this much about your girlfriend and things like that. I think people see like how much love I have for her, and I think it's because she's made me want to like be loud and proud about who I am with her and who we are together.
I don't know, I love how it feels so natural with you, and I've never had a relationship where it felt this natural before, and it happened when we didn't even expect it.
Even through all the ups and downs and stuff, we still, you know, we still love each other through it. You're worth every single thing we go through.
You're worth every single thing. Wow, I forgot to even say that.
Aww. That's so sweet.
Secret handshake.
Let's see if we still know
it. I think it hasn't changed much why do we love each other, why I love you. But I think it gets better with time, and I love you more than before. That's possible.
Ditto. With every year that's passed, it's like amazed me how much like our love grows for each other, and that we learn more and more about each other. It's just turned into more of like an unconditional type of love, like no judgment and no limits and no boundaries.
Yeah.
We just love each other for who we are, 100%.
Yes, I love that, babe.
Love you.
I love you. I would tell that 2-year couple to just keep going, because it gets better.
To not be so hard on him, Alyssa. Just like chill. We just chill.
It's okay, we're hard on each other.
Yay!
All right, thanks Jubilee for shooting that for us and inviting us to do that.
Go watch the original video.
Yeah.
If you can. We'll link it below.
Yeah. Well, they've watched.
Oh, wait.
Bye. Subscribe.
Subscribe for more videos. Hit the notification bell that they always say.
Yeah, hit the notification bell. Okay. Bye.